Demetrius for being here. I had some notes that he wrote down that I actually lost. But if you could say those out loud so I can repeat them.
Shuddux, spin on the media, SHUDDUX.
All right.
Y'all go to YouTube, we stream it live. Y'all want to share it to y'all Facebook or Instagram or whatever y'all want to.
Okay, so this event is being streamed live through Shuddux. And Shuddux is spelled SHUDDUX. And you can find him on Facebook or YouTube, and you can type in Shuddux Poetry Slam, 7 of Arts.
Yep.
All right, and you'll find it, and you can share it to your people that may not have been able to come. But just to go ahead and get started, anybody ever been to a poetry slam? Anybody haven't been to one? Good. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and set the tone for how this part should roll. And I'm actually going to bring a friend up to help us with that part because his energy is like lively. True, where are you?
Yo, Mom.
All right, can you tell them how to interact when they hear people performing? Like, can you set the house rules for me?
Oh, sure. So when I say house rules, everybody say house rules, house rules?
House rules.
All right, cool. So there are 3 very important rules, all right? And make sure you all are involved in every one of them, okay? So rule number 1. Rule number 1. Almost, so close. Rule number 1.
Rule number 1.
Respect the mic. All right, so when somebody is up here giving all they got and, you know, they telling their story, you never know what they poem about. It could be a hardship, it could be something happy, but they are up here to express. So make sure while they're doing that, you're not talking to your friend like, girl, did you see Will Smith slap Chris Rock? So, you know, you can talk about that later, not during the slam. All right, cool? Cool. Rule number 2.
Rule number 2.
Everybody got those things, you go on social media, the handheld thingies. Cell phones. So everybody got one. So let's put that on silent or vibrate. Cool. So it's no interruptions. Goes apart with rule number 1. Cool. Oh, it's actually 4 rules. I lied. Rule number 3.
Rule number 3.
Feedback. All right. So if you hear something you like from these poets that's finna be spitting some hot fire, you can snap. Everybody not snapping. We're going to keep snapping until everybody snaps. Yeah, I see you. She was like, I ain't going to do it, girl. All right, so you can snap. You can say, You say, ah. You can say, go in, poet.
Go in, poet.
Spit that poem.
Spit that poem.
And you can do all of that, like you can do a mix of all of that. All right, cool? Cool. Rule number 4.
Rule number 4.
Enjoy yourself, all right? Because it's going to be a good time. This is going to be a dope slam. We got some amazing poets a part of this slam, and it's going to be lovely. So make sure y'all just enjoy the atmosphere. Make sure y'all talk to these poets afterwards about their poems, because I'm pretty sure they want to hear feedback of what y'all think. Cool?
Cool.
All right, thank you for that. So just to start this open mic off, I'm going to go ahead and bring up somebody that I admire so much.
Girl, just up there, stop.
Yes. So this person, like I met her when I was in high school and called myself getting into slam poetry. And like she has such a distinct style and cadence that I'm pretty sure I copied it a couple of times in a poem. But only I feel like I know that. So that just speaks to how dope she is. She has out some books, and I'll let her tell you about it. But when I tell you her words, they communicate well on page and on the stage. Like, this is one of the most talented people I've ever experienced in my life. And without further ado, I would like to bring up the Coffee Davis.
Thank you, Drika. I'm gonna have to pull this mic down a little bit, a little notch. So I'm a little shorter. I'm really retired, y'all. So I'm coming out of retirement tonight for a brief moment. So I do the March for Black Women and Girls. If you haven't heard of it, you should get with us next year. But we do the march every year annually to bring attention to the women and girls in our community, Black women and girls that are being murdered at like astounding rates right now. So it has increased within the last couple of years, like 40%. So that means like every 6 hours, we're losing a young woman or a young girl in our community to murder. And we see all the murders that's going on with the males also, but I just didn't feel like enough attention was being brought to the young girls in the community, so I decided to do the march here. Is that needed? Oh, my bad. I just felt like it was, okay. All right, I'm still good? Okay. So, that's the boom mic. Okay. All right, so I decided to do that march, and I did it last year at Bernice Gardens. That was the first march that we did here, and then we went out to Atlanta and did a march out there to bring the same amount of attention. So last year I read the names of all the women lost in the last couple of years here, and it was 93 in the state of Arkansas. 93 lost. I read 93 names. This year I read, I think it was like 119 names. Wow. And I did it at Arkansas Baptist this year. So I got my co-worker, one of my colleagues back there, Bernice. She does the work with me. Drika comes out and speaks and stuff like that with us. So it's a major effort. This year I did it like 3 weeks ago here, and we're going to be going out to Washington, D.C., and we're going to be bringing attention out there too. So every 6 hours we're losing a black woman or girl in the U.S. to violence. So with that being said, I'm going to read this poem that I wrote years ago when my sons were little, and I was addressing the violence that was happening to young black men, and it's called Emmett Till.
Wow.
Drake act like she ain't heard this a million times.
I would love it every time.
All right, it's in my book called Ghetto Politics. So Emmett Till. Nowadays, lines between fiction and nonfiction have become erased. Little boy from Money, Mississippi's pain is captured in my son's face. Lynchings have become replaced. It's true. Yeah, things have changed. But we inherited a legacy of pain. My son and I embrace. Even Sundays at Second Baptist can't take this away. A mother's heart aches for things I can't change. My heart breaks for others who visit their son at graves. They cover themselves in black veils of shame. Must be how he was raised. It's too many, I can't remember the murdered black boys' names. Bird, Dean, James, and now we can add like so many more. Plus they all look the same. They look just like his 5'10" brown skin frame. Just another mother's complaint. Don't hang out at clubs, street corners, say no to drugs and gangs. When you see a fight, walk away. I don't want to be haunted by the choices that you make. Visiting memories like Coretta Scott King in Tennessee at Hotel Lorraine. Shit, we all to blame. Running in place from the past like Asada, Ashanti, and Shabazz. My soul at war with hatred and remorse. Forgiveness is a luxury that freedom can't even afford. Plus, the Klan ain't white no more. We fighting drug wars and die by the same sword. I watch black boys march past my front porch. Could have been just another 14-year-old corpse in a shiny black hearse. Shit, my son looked just like hers. But his scars run deeper than the flesh. I ain't even got no black dress. Her son's image still has the same effect and brings me to tears. Could be my boy in jet, if not for a few years. 105 miles from here. I can't even imagine looking into an open casket, the whole nation walking past it, hearing them screaming and shotgun blasting, and white boys still laughing to this day. I watch black women every day trying to fill the empty space. How many niggas gonna die today? Will there be one? How many nights I pray, Lord, don't let that be my son. See, this one, he ain't made for prison. I had visions of my son in Mississippi visiting, coming up, missing, lynching. But today, it's the streets that could get him. Police saying that my son is resisting. These boys ain't never been no victim. Do you know how many women lose children and wish they died with them? I seen a woman today walking around but ain't living and never will. I still feel the guilt from the night that her son was killed. You ain't here? They say her son looked just like Emmett still. Face so swollen he can't even be recognized, but he's easily identified by a mother who will always know him by his eyes. I've seen them Browns a million times. I know he's mine. Another boy dies, but tomorrow the sun still shines. You'll be back to business in no time by the end of the week, and we just keep on scraping our children up off the street. And each time we see it on TV, we just silently weep. Please, Lord, don't let that be me. This boy ain't made for gangs. He like chess and video games. I watch him on his bike outside riding. Why childhood gotta be so violent? My boy take his shirt off when he fighting. I gotta remind him, these boys don't take no ass whooping like they used to. That same boy that played black ops with you will shoot you and won't think twice. So you get your ass back on that bike. Your life ain't worth no fight. That'd be like suicide. I don't want to get no call in the middle of the night between some cop between coffee breaks and donut bites like your son just got killed. Look in the mirror, son. We look just like Mammy and Emmett still. Growing up ain't about getting jobs and ain't just about getting jobs and paying bills. It's about knowing that things can get real fast. And I ain't trying to visit you in jail. Your fate in the hands of some judge. I ain't raising no thug. Boy, you ain't even made for drugs. How many boys would be saved if all it took was a mother's love? I still carry you deep down in my gut. Been feeling your hurt since the day of your birth. I just kept repeating the words that I gotta push him harder. This boy didn't have his father. I gotta push him harder. Medicaid paid for his doctor. I gotta push him harder. Push him stronger. I gotta push him farther. I got to let him know that boys his same age, roundabout where we live, his same build, boys that look just like him get killed. Son, you look just like Emmett still. Thank you.
And I see some of y'all confused if y'all should snap or clap. Like, we love big energy, so you can definitely clap after each poet. So can we please clap it up again for Coffee Davis? Yes, there we go. So make sure y'all follow her at Coffee Davis. That's COFFY Davis. Coffee Davis. And check out some of her work. Thank you. Next, we have coming to the stage. This is my friend, and he goes by Tim Speaks. Give it up for Tim.
So this is my first time. Drinker can literally get anybody to do anything. So this is my first time actually performing in front of an audience.
In poetry, when it's somebody's first time to the mic, after they say it's their first time, we say virgin. So on 3, 1, 2, 3, virgin.
Nice.
Pop that cherry.
And that's a nice segue because it's a love poem. So this is my first time being an artist, and I'm sensitive. All right. This poem is titled Unapologetic Love Theory, right? And the reason it has that title is because oftentimes the love that we long for, the love that we need, the love that needs us, we can't feel in certain moments when we need to feel them. So here it goes. Write me a book about love, but don't sign your name. Right my wrongs without a scale of judgment. Send me spinning on an axle of energy in 360 degrees toward intelligence. With no pen or no pad, send me diving into worlds of energy to be accepted and oars to be adjusted. Words to fall seriously in love with. Listen to my soul. Remind me of the self sometimes I fuss with. Sit here on this rug with 1,000 candles lit, but please remain anonymous. Reflect my enlightened spirit with a heightened experience so we both can see. I'm going to say that again because I missed that. Reflect my enlightened spirit with a heightened experience so we both can see. Dive into oceans of you and oceans of me. If your eyes write poetry that your spirit can't sign, then do away with the spirit. No false words or intentions. My heart can't bear to hear it. If it kills you to live without me, then let that you die and come and live in new identities. Make me science, and I'll make you sapiosexual. Spitting poetry, slow, easy, warm, that's fundamental. I admire your beauty, but I'm fond of your mental. Taste my intelligent drops of intelligence, but be aware they don't come in teaspoons. No small doses. It spreads through your energy like mitosis. If we are pronounced dead when our heart stops, then why are we not pronounced alive when our life starts? See, questions like that, I want to converse over wine and PJs and open hearts. Promise me, when you express yourself, it'll be a song about me. Fall asleep in my arms while I circulate the little girl you wanted to be. I can make you feel secure, but not like security, but more like freedom, serenity in my energy. Search for a connection, and you'll run back with tears of affection. I bet my soul. When the D is not in you, do you still feel me in you? When the D is not in you, do you still feel me in you? Is it still warm? Not like the heat that blows. Not like the heat that blows through your vents, but the heat I feel when you vent. If I ever call your soul when I get the dial tone, Allow me to leave a message of sweet blessings. I feel better when you follow my lead and plant my mental seeds. Her soul ran into mine with no insurance. We could only call God. I want to vibrate on a spiritual level. That mental shit just don't get me high enough. Sometimes I hold it in, I don't sigh enough. Eyes open my heart to a soul savage. I picked up the phone and I woke up. I woke up out of my dreams of unrhymed words and nouns and verbs. My mind was in a distant land, in a dream. My left brain listened while my right brain screamed. The beautiful melody called Unapologetic Love Theory. Thank y'all.
Y'all, that was Tim Campbell. Y'all can follow him on all platforms at Tim Campbell Speaks. So, coming up next, y'all, this one is real special. Like, I can't even tell y'all all the different kind of dope people that's in here. That's why I just told y'all need to meet other folks. But we got some real dope heavy hitters in this room tonight. And this next person coming up, I actually been knowing him since college. I identified myself as his mentor, you know. I just swear I'm somebody's mentor. But this is my mentee, y'all, and him and his lovely girlfriend, they have been traveling the U.S., being young entrepreneurs and pursuing their art in this holistic journey. And I just want to say, you know, I'm going to go ahead and say his name because I know y'all like, oh my God, who is that? But next coming up, we have Valeo Lee. Please clap it up for him.
Hi, everybody. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
All right, I haven't performed in a long time, so give me some. All right. This is a song that I wrote a few years ago, so if you like it, catch on to it. If not, you know. All right, good. Blowing smoke halos for my people in heaven. Hope I never get left stagnant and stressing. Life continues to measure. Too many paths, can't tell which way I'm headed. But whichever way I do go, that direction is destined. I won't fold under pressure. Life the teacher of lessons. And the less that I look back, I see a better reflection. In the mirror, talking to myself, I only see bigger. Paint me a picture of a young black nigga dying the legend. Or sculpt me a figure as big as Godzilla with a crown and crowd of children. Oh, let me start over. Blowing smoke halos for my people in heaven. Hope I never get left stagnant and stressing. Life continues to measure. Too many paths, can't tell which way I'm headed. But whichever way I do go, that direction is destined. I won't fold under pressure like the teacher of lessons. And the less that I look back, I see a better reflection. In the mirror, talking to myself, I only see bigger. Paint me a picture, a young black nigga dying the legend. Or sculpt me a figure as big as Godzilla with a crown and crowd of children listening to the God-given sounds of this great one. Be clever at your craft. It's killer whales in these waters and they wishing on your raft. So stay awoke, stay afloat, say a prayer and take a toke. Have no fear, cause God is here to divide the tides and save the boat. So I'm rowing, I'm vibing, composing. I'm in the ocean, ain't no telling where I'm going. Play your partner pimping, I'm rolling, I'm sipping, I'm coasting, I'm drifting. The golden child gifted by God who created my mind innovative. Pray I be the greatest, I might be the savior. Play a partner pimping, I'm rolling, I'm sipping, I'm coasting, I'm drifting. The golden child gifted by God who created my mind innovative. Pray I be the greatest, I might be the savior. Speak it to the atmosphere and soon it shall appear before the eyes of the wise. Good vibes coasting the tides. Seduce some other earth for fire. She lift her lips to mine. Excel the peace of mind. Now I'm wiser than Father Time. I'm from a Father Time. I'm a third eye alien. I'm losing my mind. I can't decide what state I'm in. I feel like I'm going crazier than the old Tasmanian devil. But I'm an angel. I saw God through my window. Thank y'all. If y'all would like to follow me, my Instagram, my portfolio. I'm an artist. I specialize in graphic design and photography. So if y'all are looking for me, be sure to reach out. You can find me at Valeo, V as in victory, ALLEJO, art, at myportfolio.com. And thank you.
Y'all seen that style? He came up here all smooth. I love it. And he actually does all my graphics, basically. My book covers. So anybody looking for a book covers, graphic artist to do flyers, he does it all. He's like a genius. A baby genius. All right. Coming up next, we have the Oracle. Clap it up for her. Hey, y'all. Hey. Ooh, y'all look good.
So, I'm going to do something really quickly. It's good to see some of y'all. I haven't seen y'all forever. But this is going to be dedicated to our black men. Y'all ready?
All right now. Don't be nice.
What? No, it's going to be nice. Because we love y'all, right? I weep for our black men. My heart yearns for each and every one of them to get home safely. Safe to his family, his hearth, his legacy. No matter who he is, no matter his successes nor his flaws, his divinity deserves it. I weep because the reality is that our gods are persecuted and denied the human rights because of their innate deity. My heart cries at the desecration of the sanctity of black masculinity. I weep because I realize that I, too, have contributed to the lack of honor befit for our men. My heart is repentant. I no longer wish to contribute to the dishonor that befalls our black men at every turn. And sadly, I know that my heart's desire can't protect every black man. Therefore, I weep in hopes that the prayers that reside in my tears will reach our Creator. We are the original people, formed in his image, and we share your likeness, the persecution and the irreverence, the glories and the innovations. Hear the orations in our tears, hear our wailings. Strengthen our hearts for the task at hand, because it's been a long time coming. Let us love with the depth of Mother Yumaha. Let women weep as we bear arms. Let us fight with the ferocity of the Dahomey Amazons. Let us gird like the original women of the Black Panther Party. My weeping is a resolution of war. My eyes envision each and every one of our black men arriving home safe. Safe to his family, his hearth, his legacies. No matter who he is, no matter his successes nor his flaws, because his divinity deserves it. Thank you.
Y'all, and I just want to shout out the Oracle. Like, she's been so helpful in helping me make things move along for myself. It's rare that you find people who generally just want to help you for like no reason at all, no apparent reason. So thank you, the Oracle. So, y'all, we are about to get into the real slam. And before we even do, no, I'm gonna just wait because y'all, I might fall out. But this is what's gonna happen. We have 7 poets who are competing tonight. And for this poetry slam, we are doing old-fashioned poetry slam. So that means we will have 3 rounds, all right? And each contestant will have 3 minutes to perform their poems with a 10-second grace period. And for every 10 seconds they go over, they get a 0.5 penalty deduction from their total scores. Now, we have identified 5 judges in the audience, and they'll be grading them on a 0.0 to 10.0 scale based on their stage presence, their ability to communicate their poem well, and other factors. So with those 5 scores, the judges will hold up their scores and I'll call them out. And the thing that we do that's customary in Poetry Slam is I'll call them out from highest to lowest. And no matter what the lowest score is, we always boo it. Say boo. Second score, boo. Third score, fifth score, okay. And then the last score, you go crazy. Give me some claps and some screams like, woo! Yes, because we applied the poets and not the scores. But, you know, if the judges give some sorry scores, because judges be doing that, you can be like, boo, what are they thinking about? Because I be like that sometimes. I'm like, man, why would she give that person that? But anyway, we're not going to go into that part. But anyway, could my 5 judges please stand up? Is that all women's? Where the men folk at? All right, do we have any men that would like to volunteer? Do we have some men? Oh, Valeo, boom, you can give him, if one of y'all, yeah, one of y'all got to break up. First of all, Kentara already had the job, so thank you for being an overachiever. I love you. Yes. So the 5 judges. This is what's about to happen. So I'm going to bring up the 5 judges, and I'm going to let the 7 poets see you all, and they're going to decide whether or not they feel like y'all are fit enough to judge, okay? Because we want this to be an unbiased thing. So just for the judges, if there's anybody that you know personally that's competing, then I would ask that you not participate. So if there's somebody that you have a bias for, I want you to what's it called? Recuse yourself, okay? Smart lady. Did you have a question, Sasha? Okay, cool. All right, and don't be trying to copy off other judges. Use your own mind, okay? Now my 5 judges, if y'all could come up to the stage for me. And y'all clap it up for them. I appreciate y'all. Where your board at? Where your board?
Oh,
You don't have to bring it. I'll just make sure you have one. Oh, you don't need it. All right, so can you tell me your name?
Nicole.
We have Nicole. We have Sasha. Oh, y'all can clap. We have Valeo, Shayla, and Akayla. All right. Now to my 7 poets. Could y'all come show yourselves? Come up to the front or stand up. Do y'all see these judges? Are y'all okay with this selection? Are there any objections? Going once. Going twice. Sold to silence. All right, so judges, thank y'all. Y'all can have a seat. All right, and I'm going to explain that again. All right, so the judges will be judging these contestants on a 0.0 to 10.0 scale, meaning we want you to use decimal points, all right? So the highest a poet could get is a 10.0, all right? The lowest they could get is a 0.0. So you can do variations of 6.7, 8.8, 9.9. We want that, all right? But if you feel like somebody just was the shit, then you can give them a 10, all right? Nothing wrong with that. So do y'all understand that, judges? Judges, do you have any questions, comments, or concerns? Are you confident in your ability to judge these 7 poets tonight? All right? I believe in y'all, some of y'all. So we have already allowed the poets to draw their number. And we actually, since we have 7 poets now, we're actually going to go ahead and have an elimination round in the first round. So only 5 will go to the second round. And only 4 will go to the last round. Y'all feel bad for them or something? This is a poetry slam. They know what they signed up for. We got to make some cuts like America's Next Top Model. You want to be on top? Yeah. All right. And all right, so y'all got that? We're going to go 7, 5, 4. Y'all remember what to do, how to cheer for the scores? Got it. And now I do have two lovely scorekeepers. My girlfriend Aisha say hey. Hey. And my friend Diorca say hey. Hey. All right, so they will be keeping scores back there. I got two people so that we can move with a sense of accuracy. You know how these poets be. They be thinking you cheated sometimes. So we had to make sure we had double people working. And actually, I got another job for y'all. Could y'all also keep the time?
I'll let them.
You said what? Yes. So it's a 3-minute time limit. They got a 10-second grace period. And there's a 0.5 deduction for every 10 seconds they go over. And True, he's going to reiterate that for y'all. Now, the next part that we're coming to is the fact that some of y'all never judged before. So y'all need to get a feel of what it's like to judge. So we're actually going to bring up what we call a sacrificial poet. Say sacrificial poet.
Sacrificial poet.
All right, and this sacrificial poet, y'all, is actually my best friend, and get into the details. She actually just came down from Atlanta. She's living her life up there, being a celebrity stylist and things. So I'm super excited, and she might not tell y'all, so I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all while we up here. She actually just published her first book. Her name is Oya the Poet. So give it up for Oya the Poet. Now, judges, she is who you will use for basically calibration. So this is your first time judging. She's not a part of the real competition. She is just here to serve as a unit of measurement for the competition. So again, give it up for Oya the Poet. We hadn't seen each other like this is our first time. Our first time touching.
How y'all doing? Dang, y'all do look good. I just got nervous. I am the sacrifice.
Oh, and I'm sorry. Time starts when you start talking.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Judges, don't listen to her. Can you be my cheat sheet? Let me know, do I still got time to grow? Things ain't always set in stone. That being known, let me know. Nowadays, I don't want to be complimented on my strength or my beauty, rather my loyalty to love, because in spite of what you've seen, it's been a while since I've been myself without her. Neither in reality or reflections could I find myself without love. This image felt like burned memories underneath the debris after everything had been taken from me and I was barely holding myself together. Love was a shattered picture, and there were no jigsaw ways to solve a broken heart of 1,000 pieces made of bricks. So I made peace with the walls I built, Rapunzeled my way into a tower and Rapunzeled my way into a tower and waited for her to rescue me. Cut my hair so I couldn't have escaped without her. If love was a prison, let it be fit for a princess. So good to me that I didn't want to break away the parts of her that keeps me bound. I'd imagine my shackles were necklaces and bracelets and let love keep me grounded. Without love, I'm just a hopeless romantic with too much space in my chest, the size of a mansion with nothing dwelling inside, the leaks in my roof flooding acres of land, creating waves of pain, and I, drowning in the cries of chaos, would find a way to build a boat. Pull up my anchor, pray and wait for a sign at the lighthouse to show me a way out, because I refuse to be stuck in a moment of pain. Water could be the reflection of love that pierces me and cleanses me and dances around inside my emptiness, tipping the peak of every breath in my lungs, losing control of my body, would be synonymous to just giving in and going with the flow. And if there was ever a sacrifice to be made, let it be for love. I'd die. Like Christ shed his blood, I shed mine if it promises to cleanse my pain from within, overflowing from my core, renewing me, allowing me to stand on my own again, unafraid of whether my soul would be devoured by darkness, because the afterlife has to be much better than another day living in hell without her. I fell in with her. Love. Yeah, she drowned me, had broken the bones in my feet so I couldn't swim, but I prayed for a fin, which would serve as a metaphor to God, proving just how bad I really wanted to live for love. To find her heartbeat inside of me again. And even if this transformation hurts again, I dive deep just to feel her presence again, because love is my addiction.
Jesus Christ. Now, judges, you're just going to write a big fat score so that I can read it out. So on the count of 3, judges, I want you to raise your scores. Scorekeepers, I hope y'all ready. Make sure y'all write down all 5 scores. But as you all know, the points that they get for each round, they only get the sum of the middle 3. So the highest and the lowest points are dropped. All right. So on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. From highest to lowest, we have a 9.2, a 9.5, a 9.7, a 9.8, and a 10. Applaud the poet and not the scores. Okay, so scorekeepers, are y'all good? Did y'all get that? Okay, you said what?
She said yes, she's good.
Okay, and then I'll announce the total after the next performer. So now it's to the real slam. Y'all ready for it? Man, it's getting real intense. So I'm gonna call up poet number 1. Clap it up for poet number 1, which is Rigsby St. Clair.
He was born with an AK-47 fused to his fingertips, somewhere off the coast of Somalia, where his rattle-rat-tat-tats releasing rounds which ricochet off the hulls of American cargo ships. His parents named him Asalim, which is Arabic for peace. A constant reminder to do this out of necessity but never for pleasure. His father had been a college professor before the war, and his mother had been harboring rebel fugitives. They didn't really tell him much more than that, other than the fact that he was lucky to have escaped this house as flames wrapped red light around caffeine-colored skin like foreign Coca-Cola cans, and even luckier that his grandfather had willed his father an old fishing boat. They didn't really tell him much more than that. Oh, shit. And even luckier that his father his old fishing boat. But he could tell that parts of the story were missing, like why they needed guns to go fishing, or why they were always fishing, or why the people that they visited drew crucifixes across their chests as they prayed French prayers like they do in Burkina Faso. His father has him hold the rifle and march back and forth like a soldier. He wears oversized camouflage and a red beret, sunglasses half the size of his face like a member of the Somali army. A woman on the cruise ship said he'd be cute if he weren't trying to kill me. But he only knows Somali. And he only knows a little Arabic for when his father buys weapons in Yemen. And he only knows the grumble of his stomach, stretching the remnants of last month's meal to this month's nourishment. He's hungry, or at least hungry for something other than provisions. He grows tired of watching the captives while his mother raids ship's kitchens and returns with armfuls of unmarked hands and a smile. This eternal Ramadan has gone on for long enough. Homesick, becomes seasick, becomes so sick of being militant that as a teenager he asks his father why they don't just take a chemical tanker and ask the Americans for enough ransom money to retire to Madagascar. Wow. His father politely refused. So with a flashlight, a knife, and an assault rifle, he takes a skiff out into the open water watching for just one vessel, one freighter, one oil tanker toting crude back to Tokyo to make his daddy proud. And when he finally finds his mark, he maneuvers through the dark dank of the Indian Ocean like a shark tanker introduced to a baby seal. He strikes, demanding that everyone lines up against the wall, waving the nose of silence in the face of anyone with a glimmer of courage in their eyes. Bang! He kills the ship's captain just to show the rest of them that he's serious. Blood drips down his calluses as he radios enough digits to send his family somewhere nice, like Venice or Mumbai or anywhere else insulated by beaches, but distantly acquainted with the seven seas, so that if his family needs to flee, they can always go back to that old fishing boat. He never saw the German Marine milling in the shadows. He only saw the swift glimmer of silver as it swung into his jugular. To this day, his father still sails, searching for his son somewhere off the coast of Somalia. A pirate looking for his treasure.
All right, judges, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 2.5, 3. On a scale from lowest to high, we have a 6.5, an 8.2, an 8.7, an 8.8, and a 9.6. Whoa, you guys are a little harsh. All right, so our second poet, if you could start making your way up to the stage. So our second poet the score for Oya was 29. Clap it up for that. So the highest you can make in a round is 30. She got a 29. That's my friend. All right, coming up next we have Dimensional.
I rise and set like the moon into the ocean blue. Tell me, what would you do for a Klondike bar? Would you break the chains of mental slavery like the cold chocolate covering that is its skin? That is, if you can, unravel the skin of a Tootsie Pop. How would you? How many? For at the center of it all, you are fools. For yes, I am a poet, but this is not a poem. No, it is something else. Something similar in soliloquy, yet often confused in delivery. My deepest sympathies go off to Synergy. Jigglypuff is one of my favorite Pokemon, and I'm man enough to admit that Steven Universe is a dope show, but I digress. No, this is not a poem. Ahem. This is a monologue. Yes, an MONOLOGUE, like the GLUE that binds the fine line between art and time. Yours from mine, water from wine. Mikasa is not Sukasa. Is it my rhyme, my rhythm, my bass, or maybe my face? No, it's my rise in pitch and fall, for this is a monologue. Listen to how I change my inflection so that you may listen to my inflection with blind ears and deaf eyes. Before my demise, behold how deep I am. I am buried sideburn deep in the sand, avoiding the sunburns of racism, sexism, colloquialism, anti-disestablishmentarianism, ism. I am deep as the universe is wide with the septillion, sextillion, quintillion, quadrillion, a shabadoo million stars of quirks that show just how unique me be. I am good at writing poetry, yet 'tis not in me currently to be a poet. Like the last candle blown off the cake, like the last leaf refusing to rake, like the right sock left to be found, like the number of penises I see when I look down, like the number of kings that sits on my throne, I stand here alone, literally. No dialogue here from you to me, no meter here that matters, no iambic pentameter in my parameter, no juxtaposed prose to superimpose. For this is the abrupt ending to that not poem. That was a monologue. Now snap your fingers like I said something important.
last poet was scorekeepers. What was it? I forgot.
25-7.
All right, a 25.7. Clap it up for the poet. Judges, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. From lowest to highest, we have a 9.3, a 9.8, a 9.9, a 10, and a 10. Well, let me make sure that my scorekeepers got that. Did y'all hear all of that?
Yes.
Could y'all rate the scores up one more time?
9.8, 9, 9, and a 10.
I got it. Just in case you try to give me the wrong numbers.
Oh, dang.
We have a 9.3, a 9.8, a 9.9, a 10, and a 10. Clap it up for the poet. All right, poet number 3, start making your way up to the stage. Coming up to the stage, we have AJ.
What you said? I've been walking with my face turned to the sun, weight on my shoulder, a bullet in my gun, but I got eyes in the back of my head just in case I have to run. I do what I can when I can, while I can for my people. While the clouds roll back and the stars fill the night. Black don't crack unless you locked in an interrogation room for hours, you know. No food, no sleep, no bathroom, no hope. Until a glimmer is such as given under false pretenses, promises of, just tell us what you know, kid, and you can go home. No, fool. Black don't crack. Yeah, I understand your reasoning for that colloquial, but it does. When the baby tells her mom that Mr. Ray makes her touch his pee-pee when he babysits, and mom only says, now baby, sit down. And don't say that shit. Mr. Ray loves us and he pays these bills. Now wipe those tears and stop those lies. Lives lost by the barrel of guns daily. But we only listen, protest, and pay attention when it's Officer Bitchman who's the one that pulled that trigger. Yeah, we all know JJ killed her son and won't say shit. Still living by that bullshit street code or we don't stitch. Until it's your blood that catches the stray. Then it's fuck that shit. Live feeds on Facebook show the truth. But yet the judicial system still needs proof. But can't convict little cuz off a word of mouth. And now you mad protesting, delivering street justice, helping them out. As if the overall agenda isn't to take us out. Matter of fact, pay attention closely to how shit goes. You know what's investigated and what's not. What's talked about and what's dropped. Who's on bottom and what's on top. In the eyes of society anyway. And do away with that man-made term conspiracy theory and recognize truth for what it is. Matters over mind. Or is it mind over matter? I don't know anymore. The truth drowned out by the matters on my mind. I turn your matters into mine and the world shatters every time another bullet crushes another spine. And you still believe breath, truth, and light comes in only one form, huh? You ignore what's given to you at face value too, huh? See, your friends give you facts and you turn into researchers. The school system gives you opinions and you soak that shit up. Knowing damn well they don't give a fuck. Now, before I stop, I'm gonna jump back to the beginning to come to a concluding statement. Let's see if y'all caught on to the words I stated. So from the beginning, black don't crack. Regardless of how many lives we lose on live feeds of Facebook, we keep pushing. Matter of fact, some take heed to the matters of their own mind. And if y'all will focus on the truth, then y'all will see that to me, black lives matter every time. So I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to our brand new home. Far across the river, can you hear freedom calling? Calling me to answer. But I'ma keep on keeping on. I can feel it in my bones.
Y'all not real Christians, because how y'all don't know that song? Is that a gospel song? It's not. All right, clap it up for the poet again. Now, the score for the last poet, Dimensional, was a 29.7. All right, judges, on the count of 3, raise your scores up. 1, 2, 3. From lowest to high, we have an 8.9, a 9.9, a 10, a 10, and a 10. All right, scorekeepers, that was an 8.9, a 9.9, a 10, 10, and a 10. So poet number 4, if you could start making your way up here. Oh, y'all. Coming up next, we have Robbie. Oh, I'm sorry. Go back. All right. Poet number 4, we have Queen.
Let me tell you a little something about a bitch like me. You see, because there seems to be a bit of a misconception. I'm not the one you play with. I'm not here for the conception of your seeds. My perception will not adjust to your needs, so please, get up off that one knee. I'm not the woman of your dreams. Believe, understand, and respect that you couldn't cut me a big enough check that would even make me consider being a prospect of your future plans. Because a bitch like me, I'm not looking to be anybody's woman, and for damn sure ain't looking for no man. You come bearing your heart in hand, not even asking, but making demands that I should accept it as such. You telling me you want my love? But baby, that's a little bit much. Can you handle it? I'm talking about honesty, because honestly, my truth may not align right along with yours. So let's be real. You wish to possess me and tell me I'm free. You want to be my all while still doing me. And see, we ain't got to do that shit at all because I'm loving me. So make sure you remember one thing about a bitch like me. Ain't nothing good in this world coming for free, and even if it's your greatest desire, you ain't coming on me. See, I'm not saying dollar signs is all I see, but break bread or fake dead, nigga. If you want to play with a bitch like me. Perpetual advances to save me from me with your self-influenced ideas trying to make me your queen to be. See, that's what I'm saying. I didn't ask for a king. You said you was cool in the moment of this fling. Now you want to do the fool and make this here a thing. Baby, honey, sweetheart, love. Tell me what you're thinking of and I'll tell you if it's a possible actuality when the factuality of it all remains that this is my court and those are your balls. Though it's not a scheduled game, you still bring your ass over to play on me, not even realizing that you are a prey for me. And when the game's over, the court still remains, so be careful with a bitch like me. You may not be the same. What if I told you that I could do you better than you do? You'll be like, boo, who you talking to? And I'm not her, so who you talking to? See, that's what the fuck I'm saying. You suited and booted for this master plan, not knowing if it's true that you could be my man. Standing confidently in that you will find comfort in me. See, a bitch like me, I could really give 2 fucks, but we could fuck 2 times, and if I ain't catch several nuts, I ain't trying to waste your time, so don't press your luck. By myself, I was just fine. You just a nigga that popped up.
Somebody felt that in here. Wow. All right. Judges on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. From lowest to high, we have a 9.2, a 9.9, a 10, a 10. She came in at 3 minutes and 22 seconds. And you know, for every 10 seconds you go over, there's a 0.5 point deduction. You get a grace period of 10 seconds. So each 10 seconds after that, there's a 0.5 point deduction. So her original score was a 29.9. But with the time penalty, it was a 29.4. Applaud the poet and not the score. Woo! All right. I'm gonna actually read my list this time because I just keep calling people by their government name. It's a problem of mine. So, poet number 5, if you could start making your way up to the stage so I can announce your name. So, for poet number 5, we have True Poet.
There are approximately 7.5 billion people on this earth, and you're expected to find that one person that's for you. And the only way to find that guy or dame is by God. Because even before your premeditated birth, that connection was already ordained by God. Marriage, making minuscule moments of magical memories matter more than the message of the Messiah to the masses of ministries to people. That represents serenity, 2 rings. That represents infinity, dialogue turns soliloquies, marriage. Love's remedy. No science involved, just chemistry. Where dates simply become history and turn into weddings. Where brides walk down aisles of forever to Greek rooms, share the love of vows, and complete the beginning of eternity with I do. I do. Still remember the day they forgot about your liberty, Belle? It was November 25th, 2006. It was a Saturday. A Saturday than anyone would have ever expected. The same day your wife was supposed to take your breath away with beauty, instead of police taking them away with bullets, the same day they forgot about your liberty. Sean Bell. Did you ever get to hear your own wedding bells? Sean Bell, you're supposed to be somebody's husband still. Sean Bell, looking down on us now, did you ever think you'd be your own urban storytale? The hood's Black Beauty and the Beast, they saw you as a beast, so they took you away from your beautiful Rose Bell, Nicole Bell. I always wondered, how does it feel to be a black widow but constantly see stories of a husband on the web? Nicole Bell, what does 11 years of soon-to-be married feel like, Nicole Bell? What was altered first, your wedding dress or Sean's life, Nicole Bell? How does it feel to know his feet will no longer carry you, Nicole Bell? How does it know your husband got cold feet on your wedding day, but it wasn't because he was afraid to marry you, Nicole Bell? How do you replace wedding vows with obituaries, Nicole Bell? How do you replace honeymoons with cemeteries, Nicole Bell? How do you replace Sean Bell? Do you now know what an undercover cop looks like? Do you realize to them an argument between blacks is just a premature gunfight? Do you even remember what happened on that night? Does God ever let you go back and TiVo your own life? Did you know he followed you for over a block? As he followed you, could you hear the bantering of bullets bashing your black from his Glock? Could you feel the judgment pierce through your he too dark not to have a gun skin? Could you hear the reminder of Rodney King's jaw breaking in the wind? When you first heard bullets ring through your car and engage with your body, did you think about the day you proposed to your wife? And in that very moment, what did you hear first? Your wedding vows or your Miranda rights? Do you, Sean Bell, bang, have the right to remain silent, bang, to have and to hold, bang, from this day forth, bang, anything you say, bang, can will be used against you in a court of law, bang, you have a right to an attorney, bang, you cannot afford an attorney, won't be provided for you, bang, 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 till death do you part. A-E-I-O, A-E-I, they removed you from your own vowels. Do you, Sean Bell, still remember the day they forgot about your liberty? I do.
Jesus Christ, these poets are bringing it. Oh, sure, I didn't realize how short you were. Let me raise this back up.
It's a preference. It's a preference.
Wow.
That was a preference.
All right, so our last poet score was a 29.9. Give it up for the poets. All right, judges on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. From lowest to highest, we have a 10. 10. Our first perfect score of the night. That's what's up. That is what's up. All right. So for the next poet, we have Mr. Zachary Crow.
These are 9 things I know to be true of prison. 1. On the day I forgot my driver's license in the pocket of my jeans and snuck into a prison visitation, I knew beyond a doubt to hell of a lot easier getting in than it is getting out to. I have heard mothers sing through untuned telephones, lullabies strung like Christmas lights across the evening sky, their songs carried on the wings of birds flying home for the winter. I have heard them. Tonight, let us hush our voices in the silence of our freedom. Perhaps you will hear them too, 3. My friend Lindsay gave birth in prison. When I ask her to relive the trauma of an adoption carried out against her will, she tells me, Zach, I've blocked it out. Thank God I've blocked it out for. My friend Daniel lived on Georgia's death row, told me that lying on a concrete bed has a way of treating the human spine like a riptide reads the news. Promises of universal health care knows they are a myth, that the doctor is an unholy ghost in a chapel never built, his body varnished stripped from a freshly painted house. Daniel, you were a freshly painted house. They tried to picket fence you, called you monster as if they were not the ones to haunt your dreams. Daniel, if there is such a thing as true repentance, teach me what it means to live within my own skin. 5. If I'm being honest, when they murdered Daniel, it'd been a while since we'd spoken. He quit writing letters the day I moved to Arkansas. I don't blame him. Everyone Daniel cared for left against his will. 6. My friends speak of Netflix and making a murderer as if Stephen Avery were the only innocent man to ever do time for a crime he did not commit. What pisses me the fuck off is it took a goddamn Netflix series to piss you the fuck off. 7. Last time I took a road trip, I drove through McDonald's, tasted prison labor atop my tongue. My cabinet is filled with granola from Whole Foods Market. We are all made sinners in a system built by Chains 8. Darren Rainey was murdered by prison guards in Florida and no one noticed. Forced to stand beneath a scalding faucet, his blood was a rolling boil, the skin slipping from his limbs, his friends forced to clean the shower, pick bits of flesh and place them in a rubber shoe. When we use words like rehabilitation, I don't know what the hell it is we're talking about. 9. If I had more time, we'd parse the details of the devil, use words like school to prison pipeline. I'd tell you how the 13th Amendment did not abolish slavery, just built a cage around it. I'd read you poems, the ones Daniel stuffed inside his letters. Zach, someone should hear the rumbling in our souls.
All right, judges, on account of, matter of fact, the last score for the last poet was a 30. Applaud the poet and not the score. Did y'all get confused? All right, judges, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. From lowest to high, we have a 9.7, a 9.8, a 9.9, a 10, and a 10. Boy, this next poet, I can tell he ready back there. Y'all, come up to the stage. In our final round, we have poet number 7, TJ Medell.
Let's go, TJ. Come on, Cody.
I'm on the other side of the river now. I know I feel like a fish out of water. Caught up in not breathing anymore, right? In these centralized forms of ignorance. I still can't get clean water yet. I got these forever chemicals, got me feeling all types of cancer cells. You know, back in my day, we could drink the water we were swimming in. And now? I got a faucet that spits from an aquifer that has fracking water in it. No wells around for miles. Nobody's been well for around, I don't know, miles? When was the last time you opened your mouth and took a big gulp of the river you were just crying in?
Oh, what?
Yeah. I can't even go into the Pacific or the Atlantic or the Gulf of entrances to the circles of hell. And how many hurricanes do we need to go through in order to realize that it's not different bodies of water you're pissing off, it's one body of water you're pissing on? Or wait. Did we forget that life's essence is a family of liquid shared amongst all corners of existence? No new water ever gets made The quantity of energy always has been the same, just beings, human beings being shifted, sifted, trade. I cough up oil balls and have inflamed plastic intestines getting microwaved by the coral reefs inside of me. I may look beautiful, but on the surface, I'm sure as fuck dying by the trash I find inside of me. A pH level of Nestle bottle still shipping out exhaust water from Flint, Michigan. Chevron sips in your plastic stew. BP shells Deepwater Horizon back at you. No cap, militarized Hawaiian fuel. Nutritional facts are accepted by clicking on yes and terms and agreements. And if I came into a church and started throwing around, I don't know, castor oil and Molotov alcohol, burned up the missalettes and hymn books, shut down the supply lines of wine, bread, fish, and the gifts of the finest fucking wheat. And I'm not talking about famine-ravaged, GMO-grown during drought season, a farmer's revolution from India to the cup of water that you're sipping on while you're seated. I'm talking about that Wait. Are we talking about water or wheat? Wheat? Wait. I mean, if we're going to make it rain, why don't we make it rain bread so we all get to eat? Or was I just spitting crypto cash apping, metaverse Jesus, Bitcoining, and Ether directly into a stained glass NFT wrapped up in a decentralized Web3? No. That's liquid belief leaked out of the corners of ion lithium batteries. You see, I'm participating in a social craze where the rhythms and waves keep moving the same for generations and generations and generations and wait. When a generation generates enough hate to move tectonic plates, you grate the damned into nothingness and open the floodgates where it redirects the frequency in waves. We are all birthed in water. It's a part of us. So much so that you have to drink a gallon of water a day just to feel mentally stable. And here I am thinking that it was the moon and stars moving me, wayfinding its frequencies into each piece of stardust, transfluctuating from solid to precipitation inside of all of you. And if that is true, then we've all been spitting and breathing 75 billion-year-old stardust atoms that have been sitting in each one of us ever since the beginning of all of your poems. And who would have thought that the liquid gas that would pass through so many realities, that maybe our black holes were the last holes that we could all feel whole. But I digress, I erode, I return, I reverb, I'm sorry, I have a really hard time trying to remember all my poems because of my mental health and well-being. That's why I read all these thoughts of water from my phone. I rewrote them all to perform all of you inside of this cave, so I recited them to all of these waves. Wow. No, not that, oh, how I love thee. But how can I count on all of you if all of y'all can't count on me? 1,000, 1,000, 3,033. Wait. You know all of y'all aren't making it to 3,003, right? But do you know who will? Late wave of reality hits you deep and you know you are not reaching 3,003. But do you know who will? Oh, how I love thee. Let me count the waves and say bye to the water, head back to my river, and let me turn over like a fish out of water.
So the last score for the last poet was a 29.7. Judges, on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. On a scale from lowest to high, we have a 10, a 10, a 10, a 10, a 10. That's crazy. So you all know that we will be going into the next round with only 5 poets. So our scorekeepers in the back will tally up the scores and let me know those next 5 people that will be going to the next round. So if y'all could just bring those scores up here once y'all get them, because I'm just gonna talk until y'all finish. And in the meantime, in between time, as she do that, I would like to say, shout out to a lot of people that came that I just want to acknowledge. First of all, I want to acknowledge Kira Ellis. Raise your hand. Wave. Say hey. She just had a baby. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. We got Carissa in the building. Or Gianni. Say hey. Thank you for coming. Y'all don't. I don't want to be one of those people. You know how y'all be at church and then the pastor keeps saying, clap, look at your neighbor. And you're like, damn, boy, leave me the fuck alone. We already did that. That's how I be at church. That's why I just look down, act like I ain't hear him. Because I'm not going to keep looking at my neighbor. Matter of fact, it's only one neighbor because you know it's not a lot of people at church anyway. Oh, did I say something wrong? Y'all are an unchurched generation. Let's not act surprised. Come on now. Very unchurched. Y'all turn on TV, listen to some motivational speeches, get your crystals, pray to the universe. Come on now. I'm sorry, I think I'm going too far. So, anybody got a joke? I love a little crowd participation. Anybody got a good joke that's welling inside of them that they would just love to share? Anybody else? I don't want to put him at an unfair advantage, you know what I mean? You got a joke? Friend with the braids and the black shirt with the jeans on. All right,
You got a poem?
I do have a poem. Oh no, I'm shy. When I say spoken, you say word. Spoken. Spoken. I never liked math.
Yep.
Based on the fact I'm naturally a creative person.
Right.
But more so because they teach you that there's only one answer to every question.
What's that?
You're either right or you're wrong.
Oh.
But I'm guessing I envy it because it tries so goddamn hard to be perfect. Placing rules on your every move. Structure on your steps.
Right.
Orders on your operations like, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Please. Please for parentheses. Parentheses before excuse. Excuse before my for multiplication. Multiplication before division. Division before addition. Addition before Sally. Sally for subtraction.
Right.
See, guessing I hate math because it acts as if the number line represents your lifeline. Like you either negative or you positive, and there's no room for in between because everybody knows that 0 is equivalent to nothing, so you have to pick a sign. I mean a side. Sides. This life ain't no equilateral triangle, so never expect all sides to be equal. See, I hate math because I can now calculate the relation between my age and the number of years my dad has been actively participatory in my life. Like, of the 28 years, 5 months, 2 days, 2 hours, and 10 seconds, he's managed to be a part of 0. But I use those same calculations to try to boost myself up by saying shit like, well, you know, he did send you a child support check every 2 weeks for $52. And 52 times 2 equals $104 a month. And $104 a month times 12 months equal $1,248 a year. Meaning my existence was practically as valuable as 10 TI-84 calculators. I'm tired of being a fucking calculator because I'm tired of adding shit up. Like the red flags, I should have noticed, but drove 60 miles per hour past on a daily. See, I hate math because it's always telling the truth, knowing that the truth hurts. And it's facts. Women lie, and men lie, but the numbers don't lie. But what I've come to realize is that my favorite number is 0. It never adds or takes away from anyone, and it's never bothered by the fact that it cannot be divided or broken. I wish I was the number 0, unable to be divided or broken. See, I hate math because I don't get how they came up with the number after the decimal point.
What do you mean?
Like, what in the hell? Does 10.201993 even look like in real life? And who came up with that shit? See, I'm tired of doing examples on the board, only to go home and still get the shit wrong.
Right.
Like how God can make examples of us, but like dummies, we keep repeating the same mistake. Never fully learning from each other because supposedly experience is the best teacher. See, I'm tired of math because I can now calculate the number of minutes between text messages and phone calls. As if it somehow validates how much or how little somebody likes you. See, I'm tired of math because it's full of fucking numbers, constantly serving as a reminder that for the past 3 years and the 7 to come, my 19-year-old brother will be treated as a number. Inmate 158463. Stripped of his identity, but one day my cage bird will be set free. See, I'm tired of math because how much you make determines how far you grow or how far you go or the extent of your own happiness. See, I'm tired of math because it makes me mad. It makes me think the best thing my dad could do for me is make me a beneficiary on his life insurance policy. As if adding $100,000 to my life and subtracting 1 could somehow multiply my happiness, but I'm thinking it would only leave me feeling more divided. See, I'm tired of math because I'm tired of trying to fucking solve for X and Y. Or maybe I'm just tired of people asking me about my X and Y. Like, why? My X couldn't accurately calculate my value. But I'm guessing our set of coordinates were never the perfect ordered pair, see. I hate math because I'm naturally a creative person, but more so because they teach you that there's only one answer to every question. You're either right or you're wrong. Thank you. All right, judges, on the count of 10. Yeah, because I would not let y'all judge me. Slamming is really actually difficult because when you slam, you have to understand that this is, you're competing. Like you come in here to compete. Like you're not just presenting something that felt good to you when you wrote it. Like when you get into a poetry slam, you have to decide, man, what pieces do I have that are going to resonate with the judges that have been selected? Because it might be a time where this audience could have been, a little bit more mixed and we could have had like different ethnicities as judges. And as a poet, you have to decide, will this Black Lives Matter poem go over well today? Right. I'm serious. And I actually stopped writing when I started doing poetry because when I would get a low score, I'm like, the fuck? Yeah. It made me feel like I wasn't good enough, so that's why I don't do that shit. I'll put it on. But y'all not about to score me on nothing. I gave myself a 10. Y'all heard that. So, can I get my top 5? Yeah. Do I gotta come back there? Could y'all bring it up here? Perhaps pass it? This is intense. I'm just reading the bottom.
Okay, so in first place we have True Poet with a score of 30. Second, we have Queen with a score of 29.9. Tied for third place, we have Dimensional and Zachary Crow with scores of 29.7. And actually fifth or fourth, however we want to say it, but definitely not last, we have Black Sheep with a score of 29.4. Dimensional.
Him's tied.
Yeah, these two are tied.
Okay. I'm sorry, what did he make?
Okay, so for the last poet, TJ, you actually had a time of 4 minutes and 41 seconds. So yeah, you actually boo the time penalty.
And that boiled down to an ugly 25.5.
Boo.
Boo. Okay, so moving on into the 5th round, we have True, Queen, Dimensional, Zachary, and Black Sheep. Clap it up for the poets. And now we will go in reverse order. We will go, well, not in reverse order. We're going to go from 5 to 1 according to my list, okay? All right. Okay, so this is from highest to low, well, 1 through 5. We got True, Queen, Dimensional, Zachary, and Black Sheep. So in this round, we're gonna go Black Sheep, Zachary, Dimensional, Queen, and True. What? I mean, we could do that. Do y'all know y'all numbers?
Yeah, we know our numbers.
Okay. Cool. Okay, so we're just gonna go in reverse order.
From the first one.
We don't even know what numbers y'all were. True, what number were you?
5.
5. Queen?
4. It's gonna be Zachary.
4. Dimensional?
2.
2. Zachary?
Zachary's gonna be first. Zachary, True, Queen, Black Sheep, Dimensional.
Thank you. See, that's why I got her here. All right, coming up first, we have Zachary.
When I was a child, I asked my father where it is that we come from. He spoke of Scottish bloodlines and the sliver of Cherokee running through my veins. He spoke of one-room schoolhouses that he reached uphill both ways. Spoke of the Arkansas River glimmering in the moonlight above the Ozark Mountains. You see, my father spoke of yesterday. Now, when he was through, he drew for me a family tree, said, "Zachary, this is your ancestry. You are cradled here in these branches. Learn to inspect the roots. Your question is holy." The next day, he called me into the bedroom. Spread across the mattress were dozens of documents he'd collected from the public library. Among the artifacts, a bill of sale among the items on the list, an African woman and 2 children. It's not the answer he would have given were he proud enough to think he had one, but he held it out like a fragile prayer. I plucked it from his feeble fingers, examined it like a vulgar gift, knowing that this is where I come from. I come from slave owners. From the captain's quarters of ships set sail on the southern passage, from skin stripped off backs and the giving end of whips and chains, from picnics and postcards. You see, my family's hands have clutched on tightly to prejudice, and fire hoses laced knots in nooses massaged the triggers of guns, hurled racism, and bloody knuckles at men with brown faces flicked cats with 9 tails into fury and wind. Is it surprising then? My last name's Crow. My skin the same color of gems. It's been ages since them boats sailed across them waters, but they say the sharks are swimming the currents of the slave ships. Researchers say it is ingrained in their DNA that still, even today, they're searching for blood in the water. I am my father's son. I know these words are never going to be enough. I'm trying to make amends, and I know these words are never going to be enough, but I'm a poet. Words my only weapon. I hold them out like a fragile prayer, pluck them from my feeble fingers, examine them like a vulgar gift. Know that this is where I come from, but it's sure as hell not where we're going.
All right, judges. 1, 2, 2.5, 3. From lowest to high, we have a 7.8, a 7.8, a 9, a 9.9, and a 9.9. Applaud the poet. All right, poet number 4, make your way up here. All right, so True Poet.
So the other day I was trying to figure out how much I love you. To the point I just told myself, just write a poem about how much I love you. So first of all, I love you so much that I was willing to write this love poem about you. I love you more than grandparents love house shoes, more than they love to put plastic on their couch too. See, I love the sounds that surround you. Wish no sounds with my voice speaking to you just so you can speak to me, acting like you don't have to. But I just love the sound of your voice. And I love the way we converse. And I'm not sure if converse is the proper word, but I'm really trying to say is converse, the way we shoestring knotted together dangling on a telephone line. But I love you so much, I just created a metaphor about how our souls are tied. I love you so much, I was willing to hang up my player's jersey on that clothing line. I love you more than Kanye West loved his clothing line. I love you more than kids love their first day of school outfit. You know the way they put their clothes in line. I love you so much that when it's time for us to go to sleep, when it comes to my eyes, I be fake closing mine. Just so I can open them to watch you sleep? And you can call me creep? But I love you so much, I'm willing to give you all that TLC. I love you so much that I'll be your Jason Waterfalls. I love you so much, I'll be chasing waterfalls. That's right, I'll learn lyrics for you. I'll fly spirit for you. I love you so much that when it's time for us to get dressed in the morning, I'll scoot over. I know that mirror's for you. I love you so much, I answer on the first ring. I love hearing from you. And when you dance to that thong song, I'll be right there with my pom-poms. Hell yeah, I love cheering for you. See you give me drive. I be steering for you. See, I love you so much, I pay for your gas. And we all know that's real love, so don't laugh. But I'll not only pay for your gas, I'll pump it too. I love you more than kids love Lunchables. Hell, I love you more than adults love Lunchables. I love you so much that I will be a snack for you. I'll break my back for you. I'll go to bat for you as long as you be my picture. I love you so much, I'll be the photographer as long as you be my picture. I love you so much, I'll be the stenographer as long as you be my scripture. I love you more than the angels love the heavens. I love you more than fans love Game 7s, and I know you don't know what that means because that's a sports reference. I hope I didn't confuse you. But I love you so much that I'll be willing to explain to you what Super Bowl Sunday is on 4th and Inches when my team is currently the loser. I love you so much, I'll make sure you're forever my hallelujah and not my how'd I lose you. I love you more than grandmothers love church hats. I love you more than grandfathers love church shoes. I love you more than the blues players love the scat. I love you more than the scatters love the blues. I love you more than black parents whooping their children saying, this is gonna hurt me much more than it's gonna hurt you. I love you so much that if we ever decide to go our separate ways, it's gonna hurt me much more than it's gonna hurt you. I love you so much. The other day, I cut my blood vessel with a blade just so it can bleed out our love, which is a shame because that was supposed to be stuck on my brain. I love you so much. I just created a metaphor about how I want us always to be stuck on my mind so our love never goes in vain. I love you through the pain. I love you more than love could ever explain. But I got one suggestion. If I'm able to love you this way, find a way to love me the same.
The last poet got a 26.7. Clap it up for the poets. Judges, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. From lowest to high, we have a 9.8, a 10, a 10, a 10, and a 10. All right, coming up next. Who's next? I think Queen. All right, coming up next, we have Queen.
Honeycomb conversation sweeter than physical temptation, vibing to the exhalations of elations, dancing fluently to the thoughts of relation. The slight imagery of you as you enter me varies in its volumes of a tingling sensation. Ooh, another God-given creation given unto me, and it's so amazing. Touch me with telepathy, sapio sex. I need to see your intellect. Make it clear for me where we could be if our hearts ran freely on this energy and the production of this chemistry. No rush on making love physically. Let's construct on us mentally. I'm feeling you, you feeling me. It's no limits to where we could be. Entering courses before intercourse is put forward. Getting to know the souls a little more. 1 + 1 is 2 and 2 + 2 is 4. You do the math, baby, and it's you that I adore. Could it be love if I lust for your mind? And it's only because I would want your heart to be mine. And if love is a drug, I might just overdose, knowing that I will rewind time to do the most, making every time the first time, since no such thing as forever. I'll redo every time we ever spent together, and each time would be even better. Come on,
Right now, True came in with a perfect score again. Applaud the poet. Judges, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. From lowest to high, we have a 9.5, a 9.7, a 9.9. Is that a 9? A 9.9 and a 10. Judges, did y'all get that? All right, coming up next, we have Black Sheep. Let's go, Black.
I'm short. I found love in you, and no other love will do. Each moment that you smile chased all my pain away. Forever and a while, and my heart is where you'll stay. March 22nd, 2021, 3:11 p.m. I got the call. Mom told me you were gone. Instant disbelief and the feeling of numbness consumed me. Questions flood my mind, the most prominent being, who's gonna love me now? See, of course others do, but without that unconditional vibe. See, you love me through my good and my bad, just the same. And never miss the moment to tell me you're proud. Damn. Sorry, I zoned out, which has unfortunately become my new norm. Lost in my thoughts and the replaying of memories, since that's what I have left. 1 second I have you at close communicable distance, with hours spent on the phone laughing and talking. Now voice clips and pictures have taken their physical place. My strength wavers, but I feel I must be strong. But what is strength without my anchor? You know, stability within my storm. And what is peace without my rainbow? Signaling the storm is gone. To say I miss you doesn't do justice to the true extent of how I feel. I'm unemotionally existing, borderline breakdown, autopilot functioning, but I simply reply, I'm here. A simple question.
Come on, boy.
Whew. To say I miss you doesn't do justice to the true extent of how I feel. And they say time mends all wounds, but you must first feel in order to heal. But the numbness is overbearing, yet comforts me in its own way. And in the midst of confused emotions, my most lingering thought is, why couldn't you stay? March 22nd, 2021, I lost my best friend, my queen, my angel in human form, my baby that I was blessed to call Big Sis. You were my soulmate because we knew what that term truly meant. So sis, in the midst of this unexpected reality, just know we're still spiritually connected until our spirits connect again. And this is why I love you. Oh, this is why I love you. Because you love me. You love me.
All right. So the last score for the last poet was a 29.5. Clap it up for the poets. Judges, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. From lowest to high, we have an 8. An 8.8. A 9.8. A 9.8. And a 9.8. Coming up next, we have Dimensional.
The ebb of the tide keeps the flow current, smooth. Dancing all night, moving with the moon. Dancing all night, moving with the moon. Feeling all right, moon grooving. The ebb of the tide keeps the flow currently smooth. Dancing all night, moving with the moon. Dancing all night, moving with the moon. Feeling all right. Late night creeping in class with no sleep in, working all evening in, gigging on the weekend. The Leo steady growing, you can say I'm still teething. With both feet I leap in, dive into the deep end. I'm going for the goal while they blinded by the sequence. Remember, the first step in the sequence is to seek wins. I'll never take a loss when I can pass a L, a lesson. You can trust me in your circles, I don't entail, keep guessing. Don't be fooled by the Urkel, I get turned as well. Not a contradiction, I'm just out of my shell. The wannabe bee rabbits can't keep up. You can't just count them in your sleep, you gotta shepherd your sheep up. Speak up, knock them out their seats, make them leap up. I forgot how to ease up, I guess I kick my feet up when I no longer need bucks. Funny how I'm eating off my mental upchucks. Like such, lyrical symbolism, subliminal in my vision, no ill intention to mention, so please ease the tension. I'm trying to send your soul's cancer into remission. Teach at the school of hard knocks to lower retention. Shed your ego, reveal your intermission. Remember, we're all gods, just an intermission. And it keeps the flow current, smooth. Dancing all night, moving with the moon. Dancing all night, moving with the moon. Feeling all right, moon grooving. The ebb of the tide keeps the flow currently smooth. Dancing all night, moving with the moon. Dancing all night, moving with the moon. Feeling all right. I stopped shooting for the stars and started aiming for my future. Fixing up my home in hopes of living on a new earth. Cycles stay on new birth, period. The truth hurts. As we mature and grow to the next stage, exercise and strict diets chase away the pain. Rest, reap rewards, check the gains. Repeat. Exercising strict diets keep away the pain. Rest, reap rewards, check the gains. Repeat. A game in constant change, yet the rules remain the same. A winner plays them well, so the loss is yours to blame. A picture's too big to be housed in a handed frame, like how the sky is too big for there to be no rain somewhere. But if the sky is really the limit, then I'm flying to the horizon. Someone's sunset is steady rising above my clouds. Tomorrow's yesterday created now, and it keeps the flow current, smooth. Dancing all night, moving with the moon. Dancing all night, moving with the moon. Feeling all right, moon grooving. The ebb of the tide keeps the flow currently smooth. Dancing all night, moving with the moon. Dancing all night, moving with the moon. Feeling all right.
Yeah.
Man, that was smooth. All right. So the score for the last poet for Black Sheep was a 28.4. Applaud the poet. All right, judges, on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, from lowest to high, we have an 8.5, an 8.7. Is that 4? A 9.4, a 9.7, and a 9.9. All right. So can I get the score for that poet so we can go ahead and see where we are going next? And while they tally up that, I want to say, Sasha, could you write a little bit bigger? Yeah. You know, because I'm confusing some of the numbers. Your 9 look like a 1. And it's very small. And I just want to shout out, thank you, Vicky Hatter, school board member, for being here. My friend Kentara, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. All right, did y'all have those scores in? All right, so shout out to my nail tech. You know, I haven't got no nails because I quit my job last year, so I had to scale back on some things, but she be taking care of me, y'all. Shout out to Rajanae back here. Raise your hand. Hey, she cute. Look at her. Y'all make sure y'all patronize her before y'all leave. Talk to her. Yep. So she can give me something for free. Oh, and y'all, we have a lady. Can I say female? One of the only Black female gun instructors in here. I actually took a class with her this past weekend. Her name is Destiny. Destiny with Fearless Firearms. So make sure y'all get some lessons from her. She taught me some things, so I'm prepared. I know. Thumbs. And I hurt my finger, y'all. It was painful. All right. What was the score for the last poet?
27.8.
Okay, a 27.8. Applied the poet. All right, moving on into the next round, we have True with a 30, Queen with a 29.5, Black Sheep with a 28.4, and Dimensional with a 27.8. Now, we will be going in reverse order once again. So coming back up to the stage, we have Dimensional.
Baby, 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 you're the proton to my neutron. Atomically bound in our own nucleus of love, only separable by a heat hotter than the sun. meaning nothing on earth can break us apart. Our love is as concrete as the laws of physics, and anatomically speaking, her physique is superior. When you hear I love you, know that it echoes from past to future, so forgive me if your present leaves me breathless. I mean, if I could break those 1, 4, 3 little words apart, it'd take about a lifetime. I have no other way to describe my infinity. Divinity's Trinity sent me. From the start, I knew I met my finish. I see you and I sipping wine on a longboat in Venice. Now that's love. Not just the one to touch, but you also in touch. Read my book as if it never had a cover. But now that we talking covers, let's rumble underneath and go deep, where there's more to discover. Like how I feel about you, baby girl. So trust me when I tell you how you looking at them curls and nails and top and bottom and bra and thong, because I would never lead you wrong. It may be off path's beat, but journey with me to paradise. And the beat goes on and on and on, pounding like my heart when I think of the other half's part, God's work of art, and he's still painting brushstrokes on the canvas of life, exteriorly eternal. You know what he's showing me? That no matter what the day, no matter what the time, I see you and I see why. Before I was Adam and you were my Eve, I see why. Off the cuff with my love, wearing my heart on my sleeve. I see why. Dancing alone on a moonlit road. I see you and I keeping summer's heat and winter's cold. I see why. Holding wrinkled hands that still feel new. I see why. Time traveling with you, years many to few. I see you and I watching our seeds grow from above. I see why. In love.
All right, judges, on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, from lowest to high, we have an 8.8, an 8.8, a 9.9, a 10, and a 10. Coming up next, we have Black Sheep.
Given everything I have and even more once I have not, I'm tired. No, not the kind of tired where one would simply go to sleep, and no, a simple command to rest won't mend the part I still feel to be broken. Nor will it be the magic fix for this, because this tired has a completely different feel. I'm drained mentally, browsing the deepest introspect of my own intellect, desperately searching for the words to keep going. I give the next, but they must be incognito because I can't seem to find their location. I'm physically weakening, and this facade of strength is fading, harder and harder to keep up, and the only thing the next tells me is, you're stronger than this. But where's my spotter? Because this life's bench is pressing on my chest, making each breath harder and relief nowhere in sight. I'm fucking tired. So tired my eyes could close, never to open again, and though you'll feel pain, and I hate that for you, I be at peace, and that to me is what matters. Tired of similar results, tired of consecutive hardships, tired of repeatedly lifting you up while life gets hard, pouring into your cup while all of the while you never noticed me. Never noticed I was hurting. Never noticed the happiness draining from my eyes, never seemed to truly see. So yeah, you miss me. But answer this real quick, please. All the while I was pouring into you, why couldn't you see that my cup was empty?
All right, so the score for the last poet was a 28.7. Judges on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, from lowest to high, we have an 8.8, a 9.8, a 10, and a 10. Coming up next, we have Queen.
Playing pussy for potential, the game has become so simple. What used to be, you gotta put in work for me, has become, he can get it. And then he got dimples. Living in a man's world where women are simple. What happened to queens for kings and crowns for thrones? Instead it's Jocelyn's to Stevie staying down when he's wrong, and he ain't gotta be with only me. We just fucking, he grown. It's the sad truth to be, but it's still all wrong. Love everlasting. Now that's a scary thought. Considering that pain and disloyalty are what most women are taught, so we step out on lust without feelings to be sought, and emotions tend to show up, and in most cases can't be fought. Fuck these niggas. But we steady fucking these niggas. And can't seem to figure out why these niggas just niggas instead of men for family figures. It's because they figure I don't have to be her man because I'm that nigga. Constantly giving full-time benefits to a temporary position, and because you thinking with your pussy, you don't even know your position, just living in a fantasy full of hoping and wishing, forgetting that God blessed you with woman's intuition. I'm guilty. I never intended on falling in love. I'd rather keep my feelings in my pocket. I'd rather bust my nut clean up, take off like a rocket. Damn, emotions show up and I probably shouldn't knock it, but I put almost all my energy into trying to stop it. Love shows up. I gotta go. Could it be real? Shit, I don't know. And I'm not gonna chance it, and that's for sure, because even when I love, I still can't let it show. I'm not heartless. I just learned to use my heart less. The game has turned me cold. And for the time being, nevertheless, tripping and falling would be just too damn bold.
Getting crazy in here. So the last score for the last poet was a 29.8. Clap it up for Black Sheep. Judges, on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, from lowest to high, we have Jesus Christ, a 9, a 10, a 10, a 10, and a 10. Coming up next and last, we have True Poet.
So I'm gonna have to agree with Queen on this one, because all men are dogs are gonna be the first words I utter to my daughter on the day that she is born, followed by every lie that every man will tell her so her heart could be formed as a shield. You know, built to kill, but still able to realize the real, making sure her heart stays on all 10 toes so it never has to heal. As a matter of fact, I think we'll have a heart transplant. I'll take her heart and I'll give her mine, so in that very moment, she will already know what true love feels like. And I'll take her heart, breaking her heart ache, because I want to make sure her heart heals right. And when she's old enough, I'll give her heart back so she'll be well prepared for the heart attacks. When men try to come at her with their heart attacks, but her heart attracts hearts that oppress us like artifacts. And really, I just want to tell her, stay single until the day that you die. So you can have a match made in heaven and you can be a godly wife, but all men are dogs and all dogs go to heaven, so what does she have to look forward to in the afterlife, right? So now I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place, not knowing whether I should let her go through relationships and fail, or let her know up front that all relationships don't sail, they stink. They sink. I'd rather keep her out of relationships and put her in a relation submarine so she can really see all the fish that's in the sea instead of being deceived by every shark that she meets trying to get in her octopus. See, I don't want her to be another check on a list. And I wasn't absent because my father was absent, but I will always be present, so keep your gift, my unborn daughter. You are God's angel, so please know that God is the only man worthy enough to have you on your knees. You may not know now, but you will. And she doesn't have to worry about dicks or the truth, because the only thing that's going to be hard for her to swallow is an Advil pill, my unborn daughter. Your body is a temple from your head to your feet. You could be an A cup, B cup, even double D. No matter what, they'll always see the cup is half empty, my unborn daughter. I'm sorry, but your life I have slaughtered. A life that was important but never recorded, because when I was at the age of 17, I had you aborted, my unborn daughter. If you were living, you ought to be at the age of 3. $1, $2, $300 to take you away permanently, my unborn daughter. I wish I had the chance to say I love you, but at the time I didn't have a choice and you didn't have a voice, so what else was I expected to do, my unborn daughter? You may never... Hold up, wait. My unborn daughter. My unborn daughter, you may never know. My unborn daughter, your father, you may never know him, but I will never forget your life like they thought. I forgot this poem, my unborn daughter. I guess the hardest part to accept is the fact you'll forever remain unborn.
So the score for the last poets was a 30. Give it up for Queen. All right, now we're about to identify our top one winner, because I'm only giving away one prize. I'm not even gonna tell you a story. You said what? What score? Oh. On the count of 3. Can I get the scores, please? 1, 2, 3. From lowest to high. What the hell is that? Okay, a 9.9, a 9.9, a 9.9, a 10, and a 10. Y'all can't write. Y'all penmanship sucks. Sucks. All right, so our judges are going to tally up our winner. We'll announce the top 3 winners, but the cash prize goes to the first place winner. Just the winner take all, and it is $100. That's enough to go on some gas, for some gas. Yeah. You use premium? Correct. I filled my tank up with premium, and it had made it to $31, and I almost filled the hell out because I had only made it to 7 gallons. You know what I mean? So it was going too far. Have y'all ever forgot to like be watching a pump and then it actually, okay, y'all accidentally fill up the tank? Woo! That'll make you hot. $65. I wasn't even planning on that. That just made me itch. All right. So I would like to give a couple of shout outs. First of all, I would like to shout out this beautiful establishment, Mosaic Templars Cultural Center. I'd like to say thank you to Don especially for helping make this possible. I really appreciate it. You know, if you have not been to this space, they do have a hip hop exhibit going on right now. So make sure y'all come back to check it out, and also check out their stationery exhibit and their children's exhibit that they have. This is an African American museum, so definitely come and patronize it. You can utilize it as event space. They have a ballroom on the 3rd floor. So let's make sure we start funneling more dollars and more business to this establishment, all right? That's what I'm talking about. Y'all better clap it up for that. And I want to give a shout out again to Shuddux. My boy Demetrius back here, who is live streaming for us. So make sure you all, if you after this, go follow him, and make sure y'all patronize him too. He can come live stream your events, because you know we live in a digital world. All right, so Shuddux, that's SHUDDUX, and you can find Shuddux on everywhere. YouTube, Facebook. Shuddux. All right, good job. All right, and I'd like to shout out my friend Trevina Jefferson. Look, you trying to hide, girl? Wave your hand a little bit. Okay. Yes, and she actually has some barber colleges around here called Northern Technical College. So if anybody is looking for a career change and ready to boss up and be an entrepreneur, make sure y'all tap in with her. That's Northern Technical College. All right, and we have Jay Jackson. Y'all might have seen her on THV 11. Shout out to Jay. Y'all say, look, there she go. Wave her hand. There we go. I'm surprised she's not doing a TikTok right now. All right, and I wanted to say thank you all again. If you're not following me, you can follow me on all social media platforms at Dreka Rice. That's DREKKIA. Yes, my mama added some extra letters. It looked like Drekia, but it's Dreka. So DREKKIA, Dreka Rice. Clap it up for that. Yep. The numbers are in. Y'all don't care. Y'all don't. No, I get a little nervous, so I'm just trying to process what order this goes in. Is that a 9? Who was first, second, third?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, that's the order.
This is
Got you. I got it. Okay. All right, so can we get a drum roll, please? Coming in third place, we have Black Sheep with an 87.6. And y'all can come up to the stage. Coming up in second place with an 89.4, we have Queen. And in first place, we have True with an 89.8. Applaud the poets. All right. Did y'all want to say 2 words?
I do actually. It's gonna be more than 2. So I got a couple of shout outs. First of all, I want to shout out Black Sheep because this is your first slam, right? First slam ever, and I just told her. I said, go ahead and get in. Like, it's her first time ever. And she got in third place against some crazy competition. So I appreciate you for doing this, Black. Also, I wanted to shout out Drika because I missed slam. I ain't slammed in like 3 or 4 years. So this is my first time able to do it in a long time. So shout out Drika for putting this together and making an amazing event. And then thank y'all for coming out. Yeah, that's all I have to say.
All right, y'all, so we got to get the hell out of here, and I mean expeditiously. So if y'all would like to congregate or talk, do it outside because we are already over time. So let's see how fast y'all can get outside. 10, 9, 8. Give me my boards back. And make sure y'all meet somebody new on y'all way out. People, give me my boards back.